The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning to you on this Tuesday morning. Good to have you with us at 5 a.m. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. We begin with education news this morning. A packed and overflowing room of more than 200 parents, students, and concerned community members filled the Kern High School District boardroom last night. The majority there to weigh in on the Del Oro High School teacher, Olivia Garrison, who spoke with the New York Times about protecting children who want to go through a gender transition from their own parents. The meeting got rowdy with outbursts from the crowd and insults thrown at both teachers and students. Tensions high as some teachers and students took to the podium in support of Garrison's statements to the New York Times.
How one-sided that room was, definitely very anti-queer, anti-trans, anti all of that. I feel like my voice is very important, and I'm also, like I said, I'm also speaking for people who can't be there to stand up for themselves and talk about these issues. So I thought that even if I'm just one voice, I'm speaking for many people as well.
I don't want to walk down the halls and be scared that I'm gonna be yelled at. I want to be able to tell people without feeling like they're going to judge me or they're going to hate me.
Many other speakers said teachers have no right to keep important information about a child away from parents. Students at the Gay Straight Alliance and allies of LGBTQ said they want a safe space, and they'll continue to ask for that. We will have more on this developing story tonight.
Meantime, the Kern High School District Board also voted to fill the seat vacated by Jeff Flores, who is now a county supervisor. There were 5 contenders hoping to fill the Area 2 seat. Each was interviewed before the board meeting and before the board voted 3-1 in favor of appointing Steve Rodriguez. Rodriguez is a code enforcement officer with the city of Bakersfield. He was immediately sworn in and will serve the remainder of Flores' term, which ends next year.
Your time now is 5:04, and this morning we have an update on a story we brought you yesterday as breaking news here on Sunrise. A pair of officer-involved shootings that happened in a span of just 24 hours. We've learned that the officer-involved shooting that we brought you as breaking news yesterday is related to the other one that happened on Sunday. Early Sunday morning, police were called to the area of Butte and Kern Streets for a shot spotter activation. A 2-officer patrol unit that had a community member ride along with them responded to the scene. BPD says officers contacted a man who pulled out a gun and shot at them. Police say one officer returned fire and the suspect took off, prompting a foot chase. And police say the man continued firing shots at officers. BPD says that man got away. No officers or the person riding along were hurt. Then yesterday morning, around 3:20 a.m., officers spotted that suspect, 32-year-old Stephen Jimenez, on Union Avenue. Officers say he again pulled out a gun, and that's when officers shot at Jimenez. He was not hit, and he took off on foot again. Shortly after, a police canine helped bring him into custody. Jimenez sustained minor injuries from the canine bite, but no one was hurt in the shooting. Police say Jimenez was also arrested for an unrelated pre-existing warrant for robbery and violating his AB 109 nonviolent offender post-release community supervision. Other charges may follow.
This morning, buildings are still falling in Turkey and Syria as the heartbreaking death toll sadly keeps on rising. Rescue operations are happening right now across the region in Turkey and Syria. All of this as the world prays for more survivors. You see right here one of the more than 5,800 buildings that have collapsed in the region following the 7.8 and 7.5 magnitude earthquakes. The fear now, more aftershocks. You just saw one of those captured on live TV. Here are your 5 a.m. headlines. We now know of at least 5,000 people who were killed in the earthquakes, and officials say they still expect that number to rise. More than 7,800 people have been rescued. Many of these are victims, refugees who had already lost their homes in war. Today, rescuers from around the world are racing to find survivors still trapped in debris. And to aid in the rapid response of the earthquake, a California urban search and rescue team from Los Angeles is on their way to assist in life-saving search and rescue operations. Carlos Aceto has more.
on a mission to save lives. Nearly 80 LA County Fire Department personnel who are members of the International Urban Search and Rescue Team were packed and ready to go at a moment's notice. Their next deployment, Turkey.
Hopefully they'll be able to be in country and operational within 18 hours.
Turkey and Syria are reeling from a magnitude 7.8 earthquake and aftershocks, causing catastrophic damage in the area and a tremendous loss of life. Many people are feared buried alive amid the rubble.
I'm really hopeful that they're going to be able to go there, make a difference, rescue people, have some finds.
The specialized team has spent years training and has real-life experience saving lives during the Haiti quake and more recently the 2017 earthquake in Mexico City. They include firefighters, paramedics, ER doctors, as well as 6 canine teams.
And they've been trained to detect live human scent. It's amazing that after a human being is killed or dies, there's a scent transition very quick within a few hours, and the dogs are able to detect the difference.
Aid is coming from multiple humanitarian organizations. Team Rubicon spent the day assembling medical kits. 2 members, including a medical doctor, left Monday night to assist any way they can.
They're vetted, physicians and trained people that have also been screened to have the skills and the aptitude to be able to deploy into these austere conditions and deliver aid.
The challenges they face this time around are unique.
What you're seeing on TV is exactly what the dangers are. It's the issue of aftershocks and secondary collapses. It's the issue of there's a climate issue. It's cold. It's a disaster. So all the things that come with a disaster environment.
President Biden will speak to a joint session of Congress, and sitting behind him will be Bakersfield Congressman and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. NBC's Bree Jackson has more from our nation's capital with more on what to expect tonight.
President Biden preparing to deliver his State of the Union address tonight.
I'll let them know the state of affairs, what's going on, what I'm looking forward to working on from this point on, what we've done.
Touting accomplishments including record low unemployment, rebuilding the nation's infrastructure, and lowering prescription drug prices, while making changes to address the challenges, such as rising tensions with China after the U.S. shot down their surveillance balloon.
We're not going to back off. We did the right thing.
Facing a divided Congress, the president will call for bipartisanship.
He's going to talk about how we can finish the job and how we can keep getting things done over the next 2 years.
Republicans launching a series of investigations ranging from Mr. Biden's handling of classified documents to the influx of immigrants crossing the southern border.
The number of illegal immigrants who cross our border in just 2 years easily exceeds the population of 25 states.
The latest NBC News poll shows the president's approval rating sits at just 45%, sinking to 36% when it comes to his handling of the economy.
The way the administration is now is not taking care of ourselves and our own people.
He's done as much as he can with the cards that he's been dealt.
Tonight, the president will send a message directly to the American public about his vision for the country and his political future. And Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders will deliver the Republican response to President Biden's State of the Union address. On Capitol Hill, I'm Bree Jackson for NBC News.
We are learning more about a deadly crash involving a stolen car in East Bakersfield. 17's Robert Price has some of the disturbing details that cut a teenage boy's life short.
Kia cars and SUVs are being stolen at an astounding rate all over the U.S., owing to a vulnerability in their ignition systems. Now we're learning that that vulnerability may have led to the death of a 15-year-old Bakersfield boy. It happened early Saturday morning. 80-year-old Donald Olson of Bakersfield was driving south on Alta Vista Drive, headed to his church, when a stolen 2018 Kia Optima, driven, according to the California Highway Patrol, by 18-year-old Timothy Javier Leal, sped through a stop sign at Irene Street right into the path of Olson's 2007 Toyota Tundra truck. Olson didn't have time to react.
The other car, I didn't really see it. He didn't stop at that intersection and was a high rate of speed and evidently was just going to go right on through, but hit me.
Olson's truck was sent spinning right through a 3-foot-high brick barrier and flipped over, coming to rest at the doorstep of Justin Heidelberger, who was enjoying a quiet Saturday morning with his 2-year-old daughter.
My daughter and I were in our front room reading a book, playing, and all of a sudden I hear like crunching metal and like screeching tires. Look, and basically a car flipping over. I grab her right as my windows are shattering and come out. There's a truck in our front yard.
The CHP says Leal, the driver of the stolen car, got out and ran away, but his passenger, 15-year-old Jaime Perez, known to all as Jasper, was killed. Leal was captured a short distance from the crash and was arrested on numerous charges, including suspicion of driving while intoxicated. Perez, just a few days shy of his 16th birthday, was an East High School freshman, according to his brother, Ray Martinez, who was at the scene of the accident Monday morning.
I know he wants me to stay strong and keep doing what I'm doing right now, so he's watching over me right now.
Olson, who was trapped inside the cab of his truck upside down, was freed after about 20 minutes. He suffered minor injuries. The car owner's insurance company will not be shocked to learn that the stolen vehicle was a Kia. Some Kias from model years 2011 to 2021 were designed without vehicle engine immobilizers, making them susceptible to theft using USBs or thumb drives. After a group in Wisconsin, the Kia Boys posted a TikTok video showing how easily certain models can be stolen, theft rates for Kias, as well as some Hyundais, have gone ballistic. The State Farm and Progressive insurance companies stopped issuing new policies for Kias and Hyundais, and other companies have raised rates on those vehicles. One of the additional consequences, a spike in the number of traffic fatalities and injuries to young car thieves who steal Kias and take them on joyrides. In Buffalo, New York last October, 4 teens were killed in a high-speed crash caused by a 16-year-old driving a stolen Kia SUV. The parents of 2 of those killed filed suit against Kia, which says it plans to correct the problem with a software update. Similar crashes involving stolen Kias have occurred in Chicago, Minneapolis, and other cities. The moral of the story: if you own a Kia or a Hyundai that requires a key, get a steering wheel lock and ask your dealer if you need a software update for your car's ignition. If you're a parent, try to get to know your child's friends. In Bakersfield, Robert Price, 17 News.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.